What are the key things I look for as a founder and CTO when I look to hire people? So this lesson is for anyone that is looking for a job or going through an interview process to work for meaningful companies, and anyone that is hiring. Certainly you could take these key takeaways for myself that I've been that through and really hired some of the best people that we have today in the company. So I want to share an important topic today. In my 10 years plus of hiring at least over 250 people, what are the key things I look for as a founder and CTO when I look to hire people? So this lesson is for anyone that is looking for a job or going through an interview process to work for meaningful companies, and anyone that is hiring. Certainly you could take these key takeaways for myself that I've been that through and really hired some of the best people that we have today in the company. So what are these items? What are the key takeaways that I would like to share? And there's just a few from my experience, right? And of course, as I said in my earlier videos, it all depends on the type of company you work for, the size of the company. So I'm speaking from my perspective, company size of up to 150 people company. So upmost is integrity and level of trust. So some things that I do, I have a rule that at least until we pass the 150 mark, which we're very close, I'm inside every interview, even if it's for 5-10 minutes. Now, I often hire software developers, right? So engineers, DevOps engineers, designers, marketing members, right? Managers, HRs, right? And those kind of the roles. And by the way, if you're looking for a job, you can definitely check out, go through my LinkedIn, go to our website and just, submit your resume there. But beside the point is, I often put people on the spot. So they have to share their screen. They have to showcase, what they have done. So I would ask them, okay, can you show me something that you've done in the past work, right? Can you share your screen? And I put them right on the spot. So, and of course, if you're an engineer, if you're a designer, if you are a marketing person, you need to highlight something that you have done in the past. Now, if you are going to highlight that, what are you highlighting, right? You need to showcase something that you have done in the past. So right there and then you have an opportunity to a space there, right? To be loyal and honest to the company that you serve, or you could get into the spot where you can actually showcase something that you shouldn't, right? So again, right, I'm asking them to share their screen. They need to show off their work. So that means they're going to have to show me something that they have done in the past. And if they have done that in the past, it means that this work that they have done is showcasing something that they shouldn't, because you don't have the authority to showcase things that you have done in the past employer unless you have a consent, which in most cases they don't, and I know they don't. So if they start showing me code that they have written for a past employer, if they show me designs that they have designed that is not publicly available, that is immediate red flag. This person is not hired on my books, no matter how genius they are, right? So that is very simple way. Or I ask questions like, great interviewers ask question, why are you leaving your current company? What's the reason? And if they start talking bad about, the previous employer, that it was not good and they're not treating them and stuff, you should never talk bad about your previous employer, because you should be grateful that the time you served, the lesson that you've learned, whether they were good and bad, they were lessons. So the right way to say is like, well, I've got to a stage in life where I've learned so much from my previous employer. I want to do X, Y, and Z, and therefore I'm looking for a bigger opportunity for me to take on a bigger challenge. And I see your company as being a company that I really want to learn more. So that's a good way where you are never putting down your existing company that you're working for or you worked for, but at the same time showcasing that you're looking for something better, which is always the case. You're looking for something better, which is normal. You should be doing that. You should be looking for something better if you're not able to grow within the existing company. So that's a very simple technique, and I've actually have had so many people where they were great people, great engineers, and right there and then they failed right at that point and they never knew why, right? So integrity, it is utmost most important. Now, work ethic is also a very big factor. So how you show your work ethic? What are some of the ways that they're getting tested? We tell people, well, you're going to do a coding exercise test, and you're going to have to do it over the course of 2 days or 3 days. And if they were currently working in an existing job, they're like, oh yeah, send me the interview questionnaires, send me the coding exercise, and I will do it. I'm like, when are you going to do it? And they're like, oh, I'm going to do it tomorrow. And if tomorrow is Wednesday, I know they're doing it in the time of their work, which they shouldn't. A good employee will say, well, I'm going to do it over the weekend, right? And if that's the case, you're showcasing that you have a work ethic, that you're willing to do it on a weekend on your days off, and you're also not asking anything for return. Now, whenever we ask for someone to do a coding exercise, they're going to come on and do a full day coding exercise, and that's on a Saturday, on a Sunday. They get paid for it, but they don't know upfront. So there we're trying to test them. Are they willing to do something, or immediately they're asking for money? And sometimes people like, well, am I getting paid for that day work that I'm going to do? That's immediate red flag, right? That's not the mindset you should have. Of course, you're doing work because you want to get paid, but you need to wait and be patient and let the other end to actually come and provide. So that's another small thing, which is a very big one. We take it to the next step, where once you pass the 1 day coding exercise, then we take you on for a full-on week. If you're available, you come on a full week work, and you're on a temporary 1 week work. And if you pass the 1 week, then you proceed to the hiring state, because we quite frankly don't care about credentials, right? So again, back to the credential things, a lot of people start talking about too much about the qualifications. Qualifications means nothing, right? You could be having masters in computer science and you cannot code. So making sure that you use your qualifications in the right form. Qualifications can be very powerful if you use in the right setting, but if you start overly using it, that is definitely going to work against you, not for you. Another thing is being overly qualified, right? People that have bachelors in computer science is more than sufficient that someone that have masters or doctors or whatever, because they're just going to come too qualified. Unless you're applying for a job that will require somebody with 20 years plus experience, that's a different story. But if you're applying for a job with 5 years, 6 years, 7 years working experience, having bachelors is more than sufficient. Showcasing your specialization in one field, that you're expert at this field, whether it be, let's say, in AI, whether it be blockchain, whether it be security, whether it be whatever that you feel that you're in, that you're expert at that development or expert at that field, or crafting this thing, or design or marketing or whatever, management or HR, showcasing that you're expert at that, that is where you're going to be showing your specialty. And then transparency, another factor is, you often get asked like, what is your salary? What are you looking for, right? That's a typical questions that HR people, ask. For the people in our company, the HR people, they're going to ask that question. They're not going to like it. I'm sharing the secrets, but definitely it's an important one if you're looking for a job. And if you're a HR person, you should always also ask that question. So they ask often that question, what are you looking for? What are you looking for? And then somebody could say, I'm looking for this salary, right? Now you set yourself up at this, right? What if the company was willing to pay more? That's a big risky one. And what if the company is not taking on because you went too high up? You think you're worth that much, but you're not, right? They are looking at it from a different angle. You're thinking from a different angle. You haven't showed your value yet. You have not showed your potential. So the best thing to do if I apply for a job, I would not say what I'm looking for. I would say that in my previous employer, I was making X, and money is obviously a very important factor to have a high quality of life. However, that is not my primary thing. I would leave that open. I will showcase what potentials I will bring in, but this is what I made before. So now you're setting up that this is what you made before, so you're not going to accept below that. And the next thing is you're telling them that you're based on value. If you're confident, you're going to show yourself very quickly. So it's great to negotiate, but telling them exactly how much you want, it actually can work against you, not for you. So something to be making sure. I wanted to share these few tips for anyone that is looking for a job, or anyone that's hiring. I hope that's valuable. So with that, until next time, see you.